Hontoni? You found it! And it had coral on its back and everything! So it was all true. Was it really big? Just like T-san said. You know, if you boil up the coral on its shell, it makes a medicine that cures everything. You didn't know that, did you? So in the capital, it sells for heaps of money. Ji-san said it might not actually work, though. I guess you hunters find lots of valuable kemono materials, don't you? You could get really rich from selling them all, you know? Oh, I didn't mean... Sorry. I suppose you know that already. Oops. The coral was much smaller than I thought, though.
All right, let's get this new camp set up. We should aim for the highlands to the north, just beyond the Sakura Cave. That's strange. It should be around here. What we need is a Karakuri to help us find a camp. Here we are then. Let's get to work. Let me know when you're finished over there. The camp's coming together nicely, I think. Time for a break, maybe? We can have a chat while we catch our breath. You came to Minato from the west, didn't you? Along the mountain path. That means you must have walked right around the foot of the secret mountain. Isn't it a very difficult path? Hardly anyone uses it, and I'm sure no one maintains it. It was a sacred place for the hunters of old, much like the Spirit Isle, I think. But I've never heard of any settlements or tracks that way. I suppose the weather's too inhospitable. Sometimes you see clouds of kocho fluttering around the mountainsides, though. It is pretty, but creepy in a way, too. They're called eternity ringlets, that particular type of kocho. I suppose because they gather by the injured and the dead. In the old days, some people even thought that humans in Kemono turned into kocho when they died. Anyway, ready to get back to work? Let's get this camp finished off. Let's leave it there for today, shall we? Another one? They're getting very frequent lately.
Really? Interesting.
It was like a moving mountain. Honestly, I've never seen such a huge and terrifying Kemono.
It reminds me of something I read in the records from centuries ago. A giant Kemono ripped across the land. The castle, the town, the people, all were swallowed in rock. If this is the same creature, it would explain the frequent tremors we've been experiencing recently. Even the strange behavior we observed in the other Kemono could be traced back to this giant.
All my life I've lived in Minato, and I had no idea such a Kemono lived so close.
Well, Kemono only stray outside of their territory in exceptional circumstances, and they rarely show themselves to us. Remember, all Kemono, no matter how big or small, are sustained by the same energy, celestial thread. And since celestial thread is ubiquitous, they have no need to wander in search of it.
But Dad, why has this Kemono... could it be because there's no thread left in its territory, perhaps?
Yes, that's my hypothesis too. I believe our giant is hungry, due to some great change in the flow of thread in its environment. Now, we recently flooded our town with celestial thread by restoring the Karakuri on the Spirit Island. So, unfortunately, we've made Minato look rather appetizing.
But that's terrible. That means this Kemono is going to expand its territory this way and swallow us up.
I wish I could fault your logic, and I'm afraid we can't reverse what we've done. I had a nagging feeling that something might go wrong, but not this wrong. If only I had investigated the possible outcomes more thoroughly.
No one's to blame. None of us could have anticipated this. We didn't know anything. Wait. Didn't you say you'd encountered this bear once before? Heading from the sacred mountain towards Minato?
Oh. So that means it comes from a habitat to the north. And you're saying it was on the move even before our work at the ruins? But no, we don't have time to be pondering the cause. We must decide how to act, and quickly. Are you serious? I realize your hunting skills are exceptional, but no single person could dispatch a beast of that size! Even if everyone in town pulled together, the best we could hope to do is give it a nasty surprise to begin with before... No, come on, Suzuna. You owe it to Minato to fix this. Think now. Going along the Harugasumi Way, its enormous bulk will mean it has to descend into the river. If we can position Karakuri along the bluff, we might be able to defeat it before it hits the town. I think that's the only workable strategy at this point. I'll talk to the elders about preparing the necessary Karakuri. What I need you to do is buy us some time. Without a chance to prepare, I'm afraid we're doomed.
I wonder if I could... Sorry, I need to go and test something. Meet me later at the forge.
It's going to take all we've got to overcome this threat. The town needs your help now more than ever. Believe me, I'm doing everything I can think of.
Sorry to run off in the middle of a conversation like that, but I had an idea that couldn't wait. I'll come straight to the point. I need some Kemono materials, and I need them fast. I started playing around with some new innovations after all the Karakuri came back to life, you see. And I think I might have come up with a weapon we can use to fight that giant Kemono. It's clearly a rock Kemono of some kind, isn't it? Did you notice how its body was covered in deep crevices? And how Kocho were fluttering around those parts? In the same sort of way that they swarm over the corpses of Kemono, or their wounds. Well, if those crevices are wounds too, they could be weak points. And with my new weapon, we could target them from the ground. Which is why I really need those materials. I'm basically after a large quantity of iron sand. More than we have time to dig out of the ground. But I've remembered that Nobu mentioned a rumor about a Kemono that scatters iron sand. I'm sorry to be asking yet another favor, but do you think you could help?
If we can't live in Minato anymore, where do we go? I don't have anywhere else.
Whatever it takes, we have to stop that Earthbreaker. We can do it if we all work together. You've got them already? This is exactly what I need. Arigato. I should be able to put the weapon together now. It won't take long. This is a matter of personal pride. I'm going to make the greatest weapon you've ever seen in the shortest time imaginable. Blacksmith's honor. I really don't know how effective my weapons will be against that huge creature.
All right. How are your preparations going? I don't remember the last time I was this busy. But at least we're more or less ready now. The Karakuri are being installed as we speak. Along the route I predicted the Kuninarashi will take, following the old Blossom Trail. It's somewhat hobbled together by people working outside their areas of expertise, but it's the best we can manage. I've had to work the carpenter's fingers to the bone. But everything should be in place the next time the giant Earthbreaker stirs. The Crimson Treasury has supplied an assortment of forbidding items too. I'm a little curious as to why Kogyoku had so much gunpowder in stock, to be honest. Still, ignorance is zen, as they say. Best to just accept it graciously and avoid asking too many questions. I know the wretched creature is only searching for sustenance, but we have to protect our own interests and lives. This is a battle we cannot afford to lose. That's why we've pulled out all the stops. But now, it all falls to you. I'm delighted to hear you sounding so confident. Perhaps the new weapon Natsume has developed has something to do with that. Still, anything could happen out there. Make sure you have all the right equipment in full working order. Oh, and Togahime wanted to speak with you. I suggest you show your face before we're plunged into battle.
I see the citizens are expending every effort for our town. Yet you are charged with the most onerous task. Are you ready for the battle ahead? In that case, may I take a moment of your time? There's something I would like to explain before you head into battle. I have been seeking assistance from Minato, but every clan is embroiled in the wars raging to the west. All have refused me outright. Even my own Ago clan offer no support. None of them, including the head of the clan, my father, have the slightest interest in Minato. In their eyes, it is worthless, good only for its inevitable destruction by Kemono, a fate they hope I, its steward, will share. Forgive me, none of that is your concern. I am powerless to do anything but circulate through the town and offer encouragement to the citizens. To my shame, I do not even have a sword, so I have no choice but to implore you, an outsider, to shoulder the burden of Minato's destiny. Please lend us your strength. Lend my home your strength. It's on the move!
Well, the cannon is ready for action. I just hope it holds out. never seen a battle like this before. I wish that Kemono would leave us alone. But it's too late for wishes now. Good luck.
This is it! Yosh! Clear the decks! Buy us the time we need. I know you can do it.
Might come in useful. The giant bear, Kemono. The
Karakuri than usual. Finally, something we can turn to our advantage.
All right, we're there. Crossbows loaded and ready. You'll finally have some well-deserved support.
ordinary beast.
We're out of options. You're not serious.
All the catapults are wrecked. We've had it.
If it reaches us, we're finished. You have to slay the thing before that happens. All on you now, Chief.
You're our last line of defense.
Is it?
Did we win? Oi! Oi! Everyone! We won! We won!
Now please let that be the end of it.
underestimated you.
I'm so relieved you made it back safely after a battle like that. Ujishige-san told me what you did. Defeating that giant Kemono on your own, when all the defenses we prepared were spent. Togahime has asked to see you. She didn't say why. I imagine she'd like a report on the successful defeat of the Kemono. I'll be at the forge if you need me. I have a cannon to repair.
This sake will be languishing in its flask if it wasn't for your efforts. So here's to you, Chief. Kanpai. When that hulk of a bear rose up in front of us like a wall of rock, I thought you'd had it. But here you are, Chief.
You hunters have forever dancing with death. It takes a certain type of person to cope with constant peril like that.
You honestly never cease to amaze me. If it wasn't for your bravery, Minato might have been wiped out. I don't know how we can ever repay you. You can't afford to neglect the equipment that affords you protection, can you? Can I be of service? We couldn't have done it without you. Thank you so much.
Minato is saved, thanks to your brave deeds. What a magnificent service you have done for us. I dare not imagine what might have come to pass were it not for you. As steward of Minato, I shall be forever in your debt. I wish to reward your efforts somehow, but... I see. Your temperance is to your credit. Now, as I am sure you are aware, I am afforded no influence over matters here in Minato at all. What can I possibly do? Ah, of course! Ichi!
You called, Hime-sama?
The festival of returns of which you once spoke. Is now not the time for Minato to celebrate again? When Great Kemono would pass, the town would come together to honor the beast and release its spirit. Would they not?
Indeed, Hime-sama. An excellent idea, I'm sure. Allow me to discuss the matter with the elders. I believe they may favor the suggestion, especially since the revival of the Karakuri has stimulated such an interest in the ways of old.
Good. I have made a very fine proposal, I think. And should it come to pass, I wish you much fun and excitement. Arigato. That will be all. We will make all the necessary arrangements for the festivities. I am sure you ought to rest.
You're enjoying the festivities, I hope. Records suggest the last time this Festival of Returns occurred was more than 100 years ago. But at that time, the supply of celestial thread from the Spirit Isle was already faltering. So it must be even longer since the festival has taken place properly. It's in my nature. If there's something I don't fully understand, I'm compelled to study it. In fact, I was just doing some research on the Kuninarashi. It seems that Earthbreaker had been dormant for a good 10 years in a region north of here. It must have covered quite some ground, passing the sacred mountain and continuing southeast along the Blossom Trail, perhaps in search of celestial thread. I can only presume the arduous journey took its toll, resulting in those fissures the Kocho were swarming over. And finally, the great beast succumbed to human hunters. I suppose it failed to find a suitable feeding ground. Either that or celestial thread levels all over Azuma are waning. There was a terrible war here in this region about 15 years ago. Great forests burned and there was a mass territorial expansion as many Kemono sought new habitats, which is what drove humans out. If the changing flow of celestial thread is going to result in renewed Kemono unrest across the entire region, then, well, I'll continue my research, and you continue to exercise caution when you're out hunting.
You're the hero. This festival gives me pangs of... I'm not sure what. It stirs distant memories, perhaps. I feel more comfortable watching at a distance. But you should embrace the mood. I'm sure the whole town wants to celebrate with you tonight.
What? I was just laughing because... I mean... I'm only here because Natsume told me to come. I've never been to a big festival like this before. It's actually not bad. Anyway, why don't you go and creep up on someone else now?
It's good to let yourself.
Enjoying yourself? How's going, Chief? The sake is sweet tonight. There hasn't been a festival like this for far too long, so I intend to make the most of it.
Oh, look who it is! The hero of the day! Enjoying the festival? I'm glad you asked. I'm head of fishing and shipping here, you see. Kind of a young elder, if you like. And it's us elders who organize events like this. This is my ceremonial outfit. Oh, I better be running along. The other elders will be fuming if I'm not back soon. Gonna give me a real eyeball. See you later!
Over here! As an outsider, some people were a little wary of you before, but everyone will have to accept you now. Trust me, most of us in Minato welcome people from elsewhere with an open mind. After all, most of the town's residents were outsiders once upon a time. In ancient times, there were lots of hunters living across Azuma, and they all helped each other out. Then later, when the samurai rulers gained power, this area became a province overseen by a shugo governor. The samurai slowly pushed hunters further east, until they were left with nowhere to go but Minato, here on the eastern edge of the region. Generations of hunters have lived here, mixing with others who fled to Minato to escape difficult lives under the samurai. And now you've arrived, with your amazing ability to conjure and control Karakuri. Perhaps you're the person Minato has been waiting for, come to rescue us from our plight. Maybe this is your true purpose as a hunter, even. Sorry, that was presumptuous of me. But it would make me very happy to think you're starting to feel a fondness for Minato. Anyway, have you been enjoying the festival? The Rite of Returns will be starting soon at the altar. I'm glad. Shall we head over to the altar together? Fire liberates the soul. The beast's spirit will return to the heavens and rest until it's reborn in a new body. It's one of Minato's oldest rites.
It's a load of old hokum. Forget the next life. There's enough to worry about in this one. Isn't that right, Chief? Oh. Is that?
The bird of auspice. It's flying so close. It can only be a good omen for our town. Minato will prosper like it once did. Even more, perhaps.